And the crazy thing is about an addict or a person that struggles with habits in their life is a lot of times the addict doesn't even know that they're an addict because what they're doing is such a normal thing to them. It's such a routine to them. They don't even realize that that's not normal. They don't even realize that this thing that you're doing, this habit that you have, that's not a normal thing to do. And sometimes we know that it's not normal. We know we shouldn't be doing it. We know it isn't right. But it's the only thing that seems to make us feel better. It's the only thing that numbs the pain for a while. Sometimes it feels like it's the only thing that can just make us feel okay for a while, you know?
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Quite literally. Will Tidwell, a younger gentleman.
I wish I didn't have this big heart. People just do nothing but hurt me. Anybody can dream the dream. Anybody can have a goal, but see,
You're gonna be a neighborhood hero. You just keep shining, young king.
What's going on, man? This is Will Z Tidwell with SpeakUPZee. And you're now tuned into the episode of SpeakUPZee, the podcast. In the podcast, we talk about real things with real people. Everything from life to business to mental health and everything else in between. Most importantly, man, cultivating and building and learning about that relationship that we should and we want to have and that we're trying to build with God Himself. Um, my message today for you is very simple. There's a very particular crowd of people on my mind today. The ones that are struggling with something. The ones that are overcoming battles that they don't even know that they're in. Um, I'm gonna just call it what it is, man. This message today is for the ones that are addicted to something. See, the thing about addiction is, man, when you hear that word, the first thing that comes to our mind is we automatically think about drugs or alcohol or just the typicals. But the crazy thing is that so many different people and so many different human beings in this world are addicted to so many things, hoping that they can find something in that addiction or find something in the thing that they're addicted to, and just to numb the pain, just to get their mind off of something. Or maybe it was incorporated in them at such a young age that they think that the thing that they're addicted to, or they think the thing that has a hold on them, they think that that's normal. So this message today is for you. You see, because again, we automatically think addiction is one or two typical things, man. But we could be addicted to so many different things in our life. We could be addicted to sex. We could be addicted to being in relationships. We can be addicted to working out. We can be addicted to going to church. We can be addicted to. We can be embedded in religion. Like there's so many different avenues and ways that addiction can look like. But the 9 times out of 10, the main reasons why somebody chooses to be addicted to something it's because they're searching for something. It's because they're trying to forget something. Or it's chemically imbalanced in their brain and they think that that is a healthy way of life. Because I think one of the most simple ways to put it is that too much of anything can be bad for you. It's all about that balance. Because I was talking to a friend earlier and that's my dog, man. I love him to death. And I caught myself telling him this and I said it before I knew it, but I was joking, but I was dead serious. And that's another message. Be careful about those people who say that they're just joking when they say certain things to you that may hurt you. Because 9 times out of 10, if they said it, even if they say that it was a joke or that they were just playing, then more than likely there's some truth to that. And if it hurt you and it cut you and it made you feel a type of way, then 9 times out of 10, that's exactly what they were trying to do. So be careful with those people that try to put their seriousness and put their subliminals and try to put things in there to hurt you and they try to mask it as a joke. Those are some of the most dangerous people that are out there. But this is my brother and I love him. But what I was telling him was that I said, man, who you in a relationship with now, man? Because as long as I've known my brother, man, he has always found himself with somebody. He always has a relationship. He always has a girlfriend. He always has somebody he's talking to. He's always intertwined with somebody, entangled with somebody, no matter what's going on in his life. And I said, man, don't you ever get tired of that? Like, don't you ever want to just have a season in your life where you get to just enjoy your own company? And he said, Z, man, I ain't gonna lie, man. You know, when you told me that the other day, he said, Z, it stuck with me. He said, so the girl that I was talking to, bro, I called that off. He said, you know what, man, I'm just gonna have a season in my life where I just focus on me. And I told him, I said, a lot of times, man, us as men and us as human beings, I said, man, sometimes we try to get so infatuated with other people or with sex or with intimacy because we're searching for something. Or we're so busy trying to be tied up in that we never have enough time to slow down and actually be alone with our thoughts, alone with our feelings, alone with the things that make us insecure. So we actually got to face those things. Why? Because we're distracted by this. Or maybe there's a deeper meaning or a deeper thing that you're trying to run from and that you're avoiding that you may really need to talk about and really need to confront in your life. But you think that you've dealt with it or that you healed with it just because you distracted yourself, and that's not always the case. And I said, if nothing else, even if it ain't some deep reason why you always find yourself attached to somebody or with somebody or connected to somebody, even if you're not dealing with something, even if you don't have a terrible background as to why you do that, man, sometimes we just don't know how to be alone. Sometimes we just don't know how to be to ourselves. And I said, man, I know it's hard. I know it gets lonely. I know sometimes it even gets boring when you just focus it on you. I said, but sometimes one of the best decisions you can make is to just be bored and to be lonely and to focus on you and to work and to go to church and to focus on your relationship with God and to be with your family, man, and go home and rest. Sometimes that's the most beautiful life you could ever live. And so for anybody out there, man, that's struggling with something and you keep trying to find peace in it and you keep trying to hope that it's going to make you happy and you keep trying to hope that it can distract you from everything that you're really dealing with in your life, or maybe you're just afraid to be to yourself. Maybe the voices in your head are so loud and they so boisterous and they so aggressive where you almost start to believe the thing that the mind in your the voice in your head is telling you. And maybe the voice in your head is so loud that you actually start to believe it. And what I hope for you is that you overcome the things that you're struggling with that nobody has any idea about. I pray that you know that you're not an addict. I pray that you know that you're stronger than that thing or that person that you keep trying to find peace in. Your peace is never going to be in that person or that thing. The peace is within you. Peace is within that relationship that you start to cultivate with God. Because I'll be very transparent, man. I have certain habits in my life that I'm struggling with. And the crazy thing is about an addict or a person that struggles with habits in their life is a lot of times the addict doesn't even know that they're an addict because what they're doing is such a normal thing to them. It's such a routine to them. They don't even realize that that's not normal. They don't even realize that this thing that you're doing, this habit that you have, that's not a normal thing to do. And sometimes we know that it's not normal. We know we shouldn't be doing it. We know it isn't right. But it's the only thing that seems to make us feel better. It's the only thing that numbs the pain for a while. Sometimes I feel like it's the only thing that can just make us feel okay for a while, you know? Or whatever you're struggling with, whatever seems to have a hold on you, whether it's drugs, whether it's sex, whether it's um, whether it's always feeling like you need to be with somebody, whether it's um, whether it's drinking, whether it's abandonment issues, like man, whatever it is you're dealing with, I don't know. I hope you know that addiction isn't stronger than you. I hope you know those struggles aren't stronger than you. I hope you know that there is a way that you can overcome this. I just hope you know that everything is going to be okay. But see, the problem is that when we're trying to overcome these things and we're trying to beat these addictions and we're trying to beat these things that we struggle with, we try to do it alone. Try to do it all by ourselves. And one of the hardest things to do in this life is to try to tend to your own wounds when you hurt yourself. Like think about that. Think about that. Like I remember one time I'm riding a bike, um, and I fell off my bike and I fell on my head first, and I scratched my legs all up. And there was just certain scars on my body. There were certain sores on my body when I hurt myself that I just couldn't seem to get to. When I was trying to clean myself up and I was trying to, tend to the wounds and put the medicine on them, there were just certain things on my body that I just couldn't reach. But I knew that if I didn't ask for help, if I didn't take the proper steps to heal, if I didn't choose to be vulnerable and be okay with showing this sign of vulnerability and openness and humbleness and humility, then I knew that those wounds would never heal. And what happens when you don't tend to a wound for too long? Eventually it gets infected. And what happens? They may have to cut that part of your body off. It may can eventually kill you. Or nothing else. You're just being in unnecessary pain. And that's so many of us right now. We know we dealing with stuff. We know we hurt. We know we struggling. We know we need help. But we're so prideful. We're so afraid to ask for the help. To lend out our hand first and hope that somebody's going to reach out and help us. We're so afraid of that. We just go around in pain every single day. That addiction isn't stronger than you. That thing you're struggling with isn't stronger than you. And I hope you know that there's no peace there. But that peace and that happiness and that quiet and that wholeness that you're looking for, it's within reach. But we may have to change some habits and some things that we do in our life in order to get to it. And I'll be honest, man, that's scary. It's scary having to change. It's scary having to do something different when you have always done what you do for your whole life. It's scary having to grow. It's scary wondering what your life will look like when you no longer have that crutch to fall back on anymore. Which is why I think a lot of people choose to stay the same. But my prayer for you is that you don't let your fear of the unknown, the fear of not knowing what your life will look like if you choose to let certain crutches and certain addictions and certain things in your life go. I'm praying that you're not so afraid of what the unknown looks like that you choose to just keep operating in the known when that keeps showing you what the results are going to be if you keep choosing to live your life this way. That's the crazy thing about it. We're so afraid of the unknown when we keep seeing that, damn, if I keep making this same decision, if I keep making this same choice, my life is going to continue to look this way. So you might as well jump into the unknown. You might as well give it a chance. You might as well try to be different. You might as well do something different in your life and make a pivot because what you've been doing hasn't worked. It hasn't brought you any joy. It hasn't made you any happier. It hasn't brought you any type of peace. So you might as well. But like I said in another video, man, most people don't change and they don't choose to make a change until something drastic happens in their life. Um, until something terrible happens in their life. That's when we might 9 times out of 10 want to make a change. And then sometimes, even when a drastic thing happens, some people still don't change. I just want you to be happy. I just want you to be whole again. I just want you to be okay. And The only way we're gonna do that is if we keep not trying to find those things I just mentioned in places that it never will exist. You'll never find happiness and peace in the weed. You'll never find peace and happiness in the drinks. You'll never find peace and happiness in a relationship. You'll never find um, peace and happiness and relying on somebody else. Now listen closely to what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you can't be happy in a relationship, but I'm saying that if you're relying on that relationship to bring you the happiness and that is your source of happiness, what you're going to end up doing is draining that relationship dry because now you're relying on this person to be everything to you. And it's impossible for your partner to be everything to you because sometimes they got to be something for themselves. Now, will this relationship should make you happy and bring you some peace? Absolutely. But that shouldn't be the source of your happiness. That shouldn't be your only thing that makes you happy because what happens when that person leaves? What happens if, God forbid, that person dies? What happens, God forbid, if you break up with this person? Does your happiness go too? Now, of course, if that person passes, you'll never be the same because you love them. Like, listen to me. But I've seen so many people that have lost people that they love, but they found their way back to happiness again. Because as happy as that person may make you, the true happiness and peace is found in something that only God can give. You're so much stronger than the thing that you're addicted to right now. And that's my main message to you. And my prayer for you is that you overcome. My prayer for you is that you see how strong you are. My prayer for you is that you get back up. My prayer for you is that you don't stop fighting. My prayer for you is that I know it's hard. I know it's difficult. I know it's lonely. I just pray that you don't give up. I love you, man. Peace. Let's get out of here with prayer. God, we come to you and we just ask that you just put your hand over our hearts. God, we can't do this alone. God, we are battling such dark and lonely and cold things in our life. And we just trying to find a way to just numb the pain. We just trying to find a way to be okay again. But God, I ask that you can put it into our hearts and make us realize that the only way we'll ever get that, the only way we'll ever have that is with you. We can search for it our whole life. We can be addicted to anything we want to be, no matter what it is. We'll never find the type of peace and the type of happiness and the type of wholeness that you give us. No matter how broken we may be, when we choose to turn to you instead of turning to other things and other people, you can put us back together beautifully and wonderfully made. So God, I just want you to remind your children of that. Because sometimes life and hardships and struggles can make us forget it. God, just whisper in their ear and remind them that you're with us, that you're right there every step of the way. That we don't have to turn and lean on these things to guide us and give us something because you're going to give us everything that we need. And in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. I love you, man. Peace.
Hey, what's up? This is Will Z Tidwell with SpeakUPZee. And I just want to take a quick second just to thank you for tuning in to this latest episode of SpeakUPZee, the podcast. And my only goal with this platform is to motivate you, inspire you, and educate you around all things life, business, and mental health, whether it's myself or me bringing on a special guest. So I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. We don't ask for any type of monetary gains or anything like that. The best thing you could do for us is just like and subscribe to the channel. Until next week, we'll see y'all later. Peace.